Hello, everyone. I am the progenitor, and this is the roundtable session of the Shekinah Show. We have with me in the studio is Mrs. Christiana Michael, Mr. Debayo Tunde, and Miss Olamide Abbas. Now, I have a very interesting quote to read, and this is: life is a delicate equilibrium, finding balance between chaos and calm, ambition and contentment, giving and receiving. The true harmony lies in embracing both sides of the scale. So today we're going to be discussing, love in the balance, what I would rather call the equilibrium of love. And there's a trend in town of what I ordered versus what I got. So that's what we're going to start with. So, all right, I'm going to direct my first question to you, Mrs. Christiana Oche Michael. And, we've often heard people say that the man or the husband or the spouse they actually ended up with wasn't the person they ever dreamt about or was never their choice. But at the end of the day, they find out that they end up with such person. Well, I would not want to say it's 100% success or 100% failure, but one way or the other, we always end up with the things that are far from what we often desire. Why do you think it is so?
Okay, so firstly, I would say that most persons tend to have this build up in their mind. There is a picture they have in their head about the person they want to get married to. Some persons can be so funny that they have this structure in their head, the complexion, the kind of job that they want the person to do. But because I'm a Christian, so I would be.
Okay.
The question is this the will of God for your life?
Mm. Mm.
Most
Okay.
of us, like the popular saying, they want a Pastor Chris with a touch of what's his name, whiskey or so. No, you can't eat your cake and have it.
Mm.
So you need to know what you want. You cannot just build up something in your mind and then expect it to just outplay like that. Okay, let me use myself for instance.
Okay.
I never knew I was going to get married to a pastor. I never knew I was going to get married to a tall man, sincerely speaking. But here am I.
Mm.
Because he is the will of God for my life, and the past month has been the most amazing month of my life. You see, so just because I did not build up something in my mind, I did not think that a prince is waiting for me somewhere. I followed what God has in store for me and I was working with it accordingly. That was how I met this man. Let's say, for instance, now I have a build up in my mind. I already painted this picture of the kind of man I want. And then the devil brings that man to me. I see him and I'm like, oh, this is the person I should be getting married to, without confirming from God if he is the right person. So you see some people like, I can't get married to a very tall man. I want an average man. What if you get married to an average man and that average man beats you up?
Mm.
You see? So I would say why it is looking as if what you ordered is not what you get is because you are always painting a picture in your mind. Stop painting pictures in your mind. Follow the will of God for your life. Because that is the only way you would get peace. You would have peace of mind rather. Because if I have a picture in my mind, I want to get married to a short man, and the short man comes, and the society does not agree, what do you think would happen to such marriage? There's a tendency that there might be a divorce because people are saying so many bad things about the person you got married to. But when you get married to the will of God for your life, you just find out that everything becomes easy for you. You don't need to struggle. Everything just falls into place. So what I have in my head, it is what God has said, this is it. I don't want to have a picture in my mind and then at the long run, I have something different. So I would want to urge people to, first of all, stop painting pictures of who they want to get married to in their head. Stop painting pictures because once you start giving God choices, most times, the devil also brings his own and the devil brings prototypes. Just like how we have original, we have fake. So if you have a picture of an original in your mind and then the devil sees it and decides to give you the counterfeit, hence the reason for divorce these days. So
okay, wow.
that's
Okay, thank you
thank you,
very
sir.
much for that. So, just on a lighter note, I can say, you know, if I love money, for example, I should stop pretend. I should start pretending I don't love money, so that the money will come. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that insight. All right, so let me come to you, Miss Olamide Abbas. Yes, let me come to you. You know, it's the ancient culture that we always say ladies first. All right, so let me deal with the ladies before I come to the gentleman now, Miss. All right, now there's been this debate about, you know, about going on dates, and then having, you know, the guy paying for the date or the lady paying for the date. That's by the way, that's by the way, because we're going to look into that. But now, what I really want to ask now is, in this our modern day society, is there anything wrong with, you know, a lady asking a guy out? Maybe you don't want to wait for the guy to come, just go straight. You take the boat set and just, you know.
Okay.
I like the tension. All right.
Okay, so it's not a culture that is far-fetched. People do it, and some do it, and it works for them. And some do not even have the ball to do it at all. But this is it. When we look at the origination of a man and a woman, it is not in a woman's place to ask a guy out. Men are natural chasers, so you want to chase what you want, not the woman coming after you. But because we're in a society whereby we've turned everything to a norm, you know, we've even the tradition that we ought to follow, don't follow it anymore. So everything has become a norm. So okay, let me say this. If you ask me, can I ask a guy out? Okay. I cannot outrightly come and tell a guy, I like you. I want to date you.
I like you, talk your own.
Like, you don't get it.
Okay.
I actually cannot come and tell a guy, oh, I like you. I want to date you. I can't do that. But can I give a guy a green flag that, Bobo, how far? I'm interested. Check here. Can I do that? Oh, yes, I can. If you can't catch him, good for you. If you don't catch him, but if you think I would not come and say, oh, I like you, I want to date you, I cannot. But people doing it, yes, even we have the so-called Christians doing it. And it works for some people. I cannot rightly say it is wrong or not, because it's not even in my place to say it is wrong, because it has worked for some people. So who am I to say it is wrong? But if we want to look at tradition, culture, religion, it is not in the place of a woman to ask a man out. God has originated it or created it in a way that a man should be the one to leave his father's house and his mother's house. Go and he who finds a wife is what the Bible says, not he who finds a husband. So the man is the one to come, not the woman to go looking for the man. But does it happen? Yeah, it happens. So, but in the world and what it is, religion and all of that, a man should be the one to chase a woman, not the other way around.
Okay, so okay, all right. So you've answered that question. Now let me now bring in the one I was I had to do a build up. So now we are if if a lady not asking the guy out is not really traditionally, culturally, religiously
Morally.
acceptable or morally acceptable. If we finally end up on a date, will it be bad if the lady actually, okay, I want to take you out on a date and she pays outrightly for the date?
Okay, so you see, I don't know why this particular question or this particular thing is an issue in the society today.
Yes.
I don't know why it is an issue.
No,
but let's look at it this way. Can a girl or a lady pay on a date? Is it wrong? It is not. There's nothing wrong about that. But if we are going on our first date, a date you initiated, you can't expect me to pay. You want to be a gentleman. You want to impress me. You want to show me that you're capable. You want to show me that, oh, you're in a safe space where financially I can take care of you. Even if I bring my card out, I mean I won't bring my money. You just tell me, babe, calm down. Don't worry, hold on first. You know, because it is your fault. I don't know you. We are getting to know each other. You want to impress me. You don't expect me to pay. Even if I want to, even if I don't have issues with it, you don't expect me to pay. But we are now in a world where modernization, evolvement is bringing a lot of yada 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 yada, yada that shouldn't be. Like, I don't understand. You don't get.
I get you.
There is nothing wrong if a lady wants to pay. Nothing wrong. But if my man says he wants to pay 101 time, Baba, no wahala. You are capable. Pay ahead. But can I pay? Of course I can. Should I? If I want to. Does that make me a bad woman? No. Does that make me does that mean I'm not a wife material? No. It's just about understanding mindset. If you and your guy understand each other, there's nothing wrong in it. You can pay, he can pay, but on a first date, the guy should be the gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. Ladies supporting ladies. Happening live, yes. But it's good. All right. So before I will, spread some of these questions across board, let me just ask the gentleman in our midst this question. There was a time, I think, was it last year or some years back, where there was this news about having about 1,000 case files of divorce already waiting in the court as at the beginning of the year. Divorce, and it is beginning to look like an easy way out. Let me put it that way. If a very close person of mine will say, when I marry my wife, it is till we are tired, not till death do us part. I say, God will help you. All right, but let us look at it in this aspect now. Having the thoughts of divorce or the situation of divorce, where are couples actually getting it wrong that divorce now seems to be the way out? Sometimes you even hear cases of you will see some beautiful marriage and you be like, well, I want to be like this, and all of a sudden you just hear after like 50 years in marriage, we are going to the law, we are going to the court, we want to fight for divorce, and you are like, what do you want to do with your life again after? But what is the root cause of divorce? Where are couples getting it wrong? It's hard. I understand.
Very, very tough. Is there a root cause? Yes and no. As you have said, a married couple for 50 years just woke up one day and say, no more doing. And where is he going? And where is he going? To go and do what? That's why I said yes and no. Now, for young ladies, and young guys, let me put the two together.
Yeah, use the two for your own sake.
Let me use the two together.
All right.
In the first place, what is the motive of the marriage and what is the plan of the marriage for the both of them? Now, I don't know how they come to meet each other, but I tell you, in marriage, marriage is very tough. Very, very, very tough. I will say it. And I'll continue to be saying it. But people will just be portraying the good side of it, and which are the things guys and ladies are just looking up to. In a marriage, there is up and down. And when you get to know a good husband and a good wife, it is when it is rosy, you have to know when maybe the husband is good or bad, because there is money, there's everything. Then the man can do anything. Now, when to know maybe a woman is bad, maybe the husband doesn't have money again. Now the true color will not show. Stupid man. Is that what your mate is doing? This and that. And that is where the issue of divorce will not be showing up. But mostly all of us capitalize on cheating. But I tell you, cheating is not the main thing. If you say it is all about cheating, then where is the character of the woman? Where is the character of the man? Before will not be choosing of cheating. As you said, you say a 50-year-old man and a woman just wake up one morning and say they're not more doing. From year 1 to year 49.
Year 1 to 49.
Yes. And year 50, you now say you are no more doing. Should we say is it cheating? Or should we say is it character? So that's why I now say the issue of divorce is a very technical and very hard thing to just say this is the reason why. But all I will say, we should just put God involved in our marriages. If God is involved, I know things will sort out. But if we want to use the wisdom of men or wisdom of women to say this is how marriage should go and this is how we should plan it, I bet you 100% sure it will fail. But if we put God first and all the time, at time I put God first and later I will not say, God, okay, now you don't do your own now. I make we carry our own. But let us put God first, in the middle, and all the time. And by that, I'm 100% sure God will lead us through. That's just it.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Let me do it like that. Let's do it like this. Let's say we have heard from the man's perspective. Let's now hear from the lady's perspective. All right. So to you, Mrs. Christiana Oche, now tell us.
Wow.
Yes, it comes. Where does it come from? Where do you think it comes from? What initiates it? Like I like the particular example I use. After 10 years, 20 years, and all of a sudden we're in the law court, we are filing. Okay, we separate, we go our separate ways. Your children will visit. The idea, what is the root cause? What do you think the problem is? Why should we settle for divorce?
I wouldn't want to say I know the root cause, but then I've seen some situations that lead to divorce in marriages. I'm seeing a movie now, Smart Money Woman. I would use that as an example.
Okay.
She is married and then they have a son, but she's still filing for a divorce. Her reasons are, firstly, the husband and the wife opened a joint account and the man spent the whole money there. In millions. He spent everything, collected loan with their accounts. Their child, he doesn't really care so much about the child. The day he had the chance to take the child home, he left the child with his supposed girlfriend at home. And the girlfriend does not know how to take care of that particular child. Children are different. That baby does not drink Coke, does not take anything that has caffeine. So she gave the boy Coke and the baby became hyperactive.
Wow.
So the wife was really, really angry because she met her child in the hospital. So most of these things are build up anger, resentment. I've seen so many situations that has actually led to divorce. I've seen a lot. I've seen, it's so funny that just to dress the bed alone led to a divorce in a marriage.
Wow.
Yes. Because according to the wife, they've been married for years and then she has been telling the husband almost every day, dress your bed. The man would say, okay, you won't do it. She would go, she would come back, she would lay the bed. Before you know, day one, day two, anger build up, resentment, and then the day you finally do something as little as maybe not laying there, maybe do something different, you just notice that there's this rush of anger. And I'm like, I can't do this with you any longer. Firstly, the thing is, most people, whenever they are in relationship, because of the happy and jumping, they don't tend to notice some certain things. Because one thing that I've noticed as a person, because I have so many friends around me, I've noticed that most of the things they do, they don't really change from it. They either become better in it. But I'm not talking of the good aspects now, I'm talking of the bad aspects. It is either they become better in it or they choose not to work on their character. I had a neighbor then in the barracks. Their issue was really funny, and the woman has left. The man does not take care of the child. He doesn't give them money for anything. My mom had to ask her that, why you were dating this man? Was he giving you money? She said, Mommy, not today give me money like that, though. But I think, say, if we marry, you see. So because of she had a thought that if she gets married to this man, he would become a better person. That is where the issue comes. Most persons during relationships, they don't take note of so many things. Somebody like me, I see things a lot. If I see you do something, you do it the first time, the second time, the third time, I take my mind from it because I know you. For you to change in that particular habit, it will be the grace of God. So we need to, and then just like I said, the man was not willing to change. That girl is like 10 years old now, yes. Still, the man does not contribute to her life in any way. You see? Because while they were dating, the man was not giving her money as he should, and she saw it as it is a normal thing because he is not married to me yet, so he should not give me his money. But not knowing that 10 years down the line, he is still not giving you this money, even though you are his wife and you have a child for him. So many character defects that we tend to neglect during our courtship period tends to aggravate during marriage, and then we can't contain it any longer. Hence the burst of anger. And whenever somebody gets angry too much over a person, the love diminishes. So you see, so if I would have an answer to that question, I would say maybe people overplay so many things they see during courtship, and then when it begins to happen in marriage, they can't get hold of it again. Because why? They have already allowed that man from their hand, or they've allowed the woman from the man's hand. You see some ladies with anger issues. You are dating this person and you've seen it consistently that this person does not listen to you. If you get married to her, she won't listen to you. So you need to know that, okay, this person is beautiful, this person is caring, but this is her area of weakness. Can I work with her? You see now? But if you know that you can work with this person, whenever she gets angry, you can choose to keep quiet or maybe leave her. Maybe when she comes back and says she might come and apologize, or maybe she doesn't know how to apologize. But then, if we cannot outplay everything we see during courtship, we pay attention to every details. When we see it in marriages, we should not be surprised. And though some ladies can actually pretend, but the truth is, no matter how a person chooses to pretend, that character defect will come out in one way or the other, but we choose to overlook it. So anything you choose to overlook, if a tap is running and the cup is full, you can either choose to lock that tap and the water will stop overflowing. If you choose to leave that tap on, that water will run for a very long time. So the decision now is, do you overlook what happens during courtship and then you feel that this person will become better during marriage? Or do you tackle it during that relationship and courtship before you bring that man or that woman into your life, like this person is my husband or this person is my wife? So because of what I've seen and then what I've read so far, I would say these are some of the little reasons that lead to divorce in marriages. Thank you so much.
Okay, interesting. Oh, wonderful. Leave the tap on, the water will overflow. And there are lots of things we shouldn't overlook, but at the point we tend to overlook them. All right, now let us move a bit. All right, let's look at. There's also been this. Should I say? There was a time I attended a meeting. Then I heard things like about this issue of submission, the Ephesians 5, Ephesians 6, and the story about men submit to your wife, women love your husband, and then you now hear the men say, "My duty is to submit." Then the wife will say, the man will say, "My duty is to love. Our duty is to submit." And men actually stand on that point. She must submit. Now, let me ask you, Miss Olamide. Let me ask you now. Let me ask you first, yes, because so I will not wear out some of us here. But let me ask you now: who should love more? Should it be in a relationship, even if it's a marriage, or let's say from a relationship and then because it's definitely a relationship that will graduate into marriage. In a relationship from the beginning, who should the man love the lady more? Should the lady love more and put in more, of her effort? Or should it be 50-50? I'll give you half, for now. Then, let's see how. What should it be? What should it be? Should the man love more or should the lady love more? Because I have heard times that number that, especially when these young guys want to advise you, they will say, no love her too much. Then, if the girl love you, no matter what you do, she not going to leave you. Sorry, I have to go vernacular, but I'm trying to express, trying to show the expression. If she loves you and she cannot leave you. But so what do you think? Should the lady be the one to love more? Or should the guy love more? Or should it be 50-50? Pop out for 50-50.
When I hear some questions, I laugh. Yes, I laugh.
Why?
We are too smart in this our generation.
Really smart.
Too smart. And our smartness is actually trying to interject some natural things, some natural laws of life, and the way God has actually designed some things. When the scripture said, husband, love your wife, submit to your husband. God himself knows that women are not naturally submissive. I'm a lady, so I can say this. Women they are nurturers. Women are, they are like an elastic. They can stretch. Women are, there's a word I'm looking for. It is what you put in a woman that you get. When you love a woman, right, she'll give it back to you twice. When you love a woman well, you don't need to tell her. You don't need to say, my wife love me. You don't need to. You don't need to say, my wife care for me. You don't need, because God has designed it that we women are natural nurturers. We are natural carers. We are natural, I don't want to use the word lover, but when we look at I don't want to use the word lover, but when we look at all of these things, it's also an iota of love that makes you want to nurture, care for somebody, look out for somebody, do things for somebody. I would say it is. But women are emotional beings. That one we cannot overrule. Men are logical. Now, let me use this for example. I can be having a conversation with the guy, and I'll say, babe, see, as I was coming from the market today, as in, I wanted to enter my car. In fact, I've even opened the car. Look at the details, I've even opened the car. The goods I went to buy, I already took it. I was about putting it. That was how I saw. Men are not like that. Babe, as I was coming, that's why I jammed so person. He's not coming to tell you that when I was coming, I was going into the car. I was trying to do this. I was trying to do that. Men are just straightforward like that. Women are not straightforward because their parties, that detail is part of the woman. You cannot take it away. So in the area of you trying to take it away, you are taking who she is away. Why? Let her talk her talk. You hear whatever it is you need to hear from that thing that she's saying. Just listen. Give her the response that you need. But we are now in a world whereby we want to make women like the man. If you are coming to say, a man should, if I want to say, I'll say, man, love your wife more. Because the truth is, whatever it is you give to her, she will bring it back to you twice. I'm coming from work, or maybe I got back from work and I was tired, hungry. My husband is home before I go home. Before I go home, imagine me tired, hungry. I make food for house. As I enter house, my husband talks, "Hey, yeah, babe, sorry, you are looking tired. Come, let me help you massage your leg. Come, let me help you do this. You know what? I've taken water." That guy just need to do maybe like once or twice. That woman can make it a routine. Why? Because the husband has made her see that you are in a safe space. I am here to love you. I am here to take care of you. I am here to make you feel like a woman. Women are like babies. Just take care of them. Even in their, I don't want to use the word nagging. Even in their, I don't want to use, there's a word I'm looking for. Even in their,
just say nagging, put brackets.
no, not even nagging. You know, when a child needs something, instead of her to say, "Daddy, mommy, this is what I need," they can start crying. So they start doing, "What do you want? What do you know, what do you care? What do you need? Do you need this?" Women too can be like that. So when you understand that, oh, my wife is a baby, the way they will say men too are big babies, we know. But you see, for women, yes, women are babies to their man, especially a man that they love. So the moment you are trying to make her feel like you're doing too much, you are killing whatsoever it is that she has in her. So that man, you cannot expect her to come and say that, "My Royal Highness, I submit to you." She cannot. Because you do not give her a safe space. She is now the one creating a safe space for herself. What you need as a man to create for her, you are creating the safe space. She would naturally succumb to you. But you are not giving her the safe space. She's creating it by herself. You know, you can't ask too much of her. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You can't ask too much of her. So when you say a man should love a woman, the both of them eventually fall in love at a point in time. But a woman, they are natural nurturers. Men are not. You were saying something earlier on. Men cheat, right? It's like a norm. But they will tell you that a man does not need to love a woman before he cheats. Because for them, it is not the emotion. Before a woman cheats, she has thought about the process. She has thought about the timing. She has thought about how she wants to be seductive about it. She has put every thought in place before she cheats. So when you catch a woman cheating, it is not a mistake. A process has gone through it. A man on the spot does not need to think. His dick will think for him. And he will cheat. So men can do all of that because they are what? I'm not supporting cheating. No. I'm not. I am just telling you that women and men are wired differently. But for men, they are not natural lovers. It takes, you guys have ego. I'm sorry. Men in the house, you guys have ego. So love does not come to a man naturally. It does not come to them. So God has said, husband, love your wife. Baba God know wetin dey talk. Wife, submit to your husband. You know wetin dey talk. Because the day when you don't put, not even our millennial and Gen Z bride wife for today, the day when you know bring money as you supposed to bring, the day when you know be a man as you supposed to be. Okay, now let's look at it. Now you know bring money as you supposed to do. You know bring normal as you supposed to do like a man. And you are requiring a lot from her. You know that one day she will snap at you. One day she will misbehave. One day she will, because women are not put in a position to take care of certain responsibilities. But in today's world, we are not fighting for, I beg, I no fight for equality. I be a woman. Come and take care of me. I will submit. You know, but men should love more. Because whatever you give your woman, naturally, she'll bring it back to you. So it's not a competition. Love should not be a competition. I'm in love with you, you're in love with me. The day you're on 40%, let me bring in my 60. The day I'm on 30, bring in your 70. The day we're on 50-50, good for her. The day we're on 20, bring your 80. That is how we should be. So it's not a competition of who should love more. Or there are days I might not even love you. There are days I'll look at my man and I'll be like, and I'm married this too. I don't know if you understand. And I married this guy. Where's how they look? You don't get. So days like that, what would you say? My wife does not love. She loves you. You just clear one kind. You come back again, you know? Stuff like that. So we cannot say that it should be this, it should be that. But men, love your wife and they'll bring it back to you as much as you give to them.
When you love a woman, she gives it back to you double. Young fellows, get you. Okay. All right. So we have heard it from a lady's perspective. Let's now hear from the man's perspective. What do you think, sir? Love the woman more so that she will give it to you double, or she's supposed to know her place as you are the natural lover, love you like that? What do you think, sir?
The man should love, the woman should submit. The Bible said it. So, but I didn't know where the whole thing of 50-50 I bring. I didn't know where it came from. So wherever it came from, let us, the body of Christ, tell them. Nah,
It's
lie.
not supposed to be like
Bible
that.
said,
Exactly.
man, love. Woman,
Submit.
submit. As you have said, whatever you give to a woman, she'll bring it back. If you give her a thread, she will give you double.
Oh my God.
She will give you double. There is no two ways to it. If you give her love, my dear brother, my dear, you yourself, you have the rest of mind. When you show your wife a love, don't let us look at the other side, maybe the spiritual aspect, maybe, but a natural way, as God has said it. When a man give a woman love, definitely, you didn't need to ask the woman to submit to you.
At all. At all. She will do it
She
naturally.
will just do it. You are spending to a woman, she will go and sit down there, she will sit down because she know that if she disobey, the money will not come. Let's just put it that way.
The average life of a man and a woman.
That's right. If you do it that way, definitely she would submit. So now, to our viewers that are watching us, the Bible said, man, love, woman, submit. Let us just obey that commandment first of all, and let us say how it will play out. Let us forget about those, our new Gen Zs now that are just twisting the marriage now because of what I've seen, I've had. They don't want marriages to work again.
Can I chip in something?
Okay.
Do you know that even the worst of breakups and divorce is in the Christendom?
Definitely.
It's in the it's in the kingdom itself.
Yes.
And those that now enjoy the marriage or are making it even work better are the ones that are not even churchy or spiritual in that sense. Are the ones that are even making the marriage work well. We have good men. Okay, there's a story I read. This man, he got married to his wife, took care of his wife, built a house for the wife's parents, established a business for her, made her comfortable. So let's say he did all of that this year. And the following year, he lost his job. The job that was bringing all of the goodies to the table, he lost it all. 2 weeks into being jobless, the wife brought out her chocolate. 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. Not even years. 2 weeks into being jobless. She brought out her chocolate. What is the chocolate that she brought out? You that are your husband established. You can't tell me that you don't have money to take care of your husband and the kids at the moment. So she now went as far as whenever she cooks, she only cook for herself and her two children, without giving the husband money, food. Yes. And the next thing she said was, is that what your mate are doing? Go and bring the money now. That man said after a month, he himself, nobody chase him, carrying load, come up for house where he build with wife and pikin. And he said in his life, there is a circle going on now. And that circle is what? A lot of people are wounded and not healed. even the so-called Christians that we call ourselves, a lot of us are wounded and not healed. Unfortunately, we now bleed on those that didn't offend us, that knows nothing about our predicament, about our experiences. But if we want to speak as Christians indeed, then we need to know that we need to heal. Healing is not easy.
Oh,
Healing is not easy. There are days you think you've healed, and another day you go from 0 to 100. And there are other days you go from 100 to 0. Days you just burst into tears. You don't even know why you're crying. You're just crying for nothing. It's a process. And we need to really heal before we go into relationship, marriage. A lot of people carry different mindset. I know somebody that said that people have hurt me. A guy, I go hurt me and die. And I'm like, this woman that you want to hurt, I didn't want to hurt you. I did the one. So some men, it's not because some men cannot love, but they are wounded. They are not healed. So there is no amount of words of whatever you want to tell them. They cannot hear, they cannot sing because of their state of art. This thing we are talking about is actually wide.
Really wide,
Like it's
actually.
broad, it is wide, so broad. But if you want to talk about being Christians, and I'm not talking about the Christian of I go to church today, I go to
Being
the
a
club
believer.
tomorrow. No, I'm talking about Christians. Christians that hear the word of God, that study the word, that has an intimacy with God. So the day your spouse offends you and God says, go and apologize to your spouse, those are the kind of Christian we are talking about. Because women in South America be stubborn. And you just hear, God, your thought I don't start again. Or you're going to apologize to me. You know, those are the kind of, because the kingdom marriage or relationship is not the same thing like what is going on out there. So we cannot come and be saying 70, 30, 50, 50, 20, 30. It cannot work here because God is the one driving us, leading us. So we dey follow him. So we cannot come and say, men, love more. Women,
Men.
love more. No, we submit, you love us. I will return it back to you.
Okay. This is very interesting. All right. Now, so if I should just bring this up, so what of a case of I have also heard where people who the point of view where I'm taking now, I'm trying to be very neutral. You see,
okay.
it's you that we decide you want to deal. But I have also heard where you say women now, ladies now will say, no, the submission is not only women to submit, men too, you will submit to us. Are you beginning to see the picture? So that's why I'm sure that question of who should love more. But you also hear ladies say, no, submission, when God said that women, he also says, submit yourself one to another. Maybe their own interpretation, but they always have this idea of the men should also submit to them. Why they will submit? So in that kind of situation now, should men also submit? Should men too submit to their wives? Who should I start with? Let me start with you. No, they've exhausted their energy. Don't dodge. They've exhausted their energy more. Let me start with you. Should men also submit to their wives? Is it practicable to submit to your wife?
Okay. I will give my own view.
Okay.
There is a template of kingdom marriage, and that should be Jesus. So if I am speaking from my own side now, if it's in my own marriage and my husband sees that he needs to submit to a certain level for peace to reign, I think he should. And if I see from my own side, because every family has different, I don't want to use the word battles now. We live differently.
Okay.
The way I love is different from the way my husband loves. In the next family, the way the man loves is different from the way the woman loves. Do you understand now? So it depends on what works for you. So you cannot use someone else's marriage to judge your own marriage. If in your own marriage, you submitting alone is fine and everything is going well, perfect. But if in the other home, it requires both efforts, perfect. So I feel why that question, or maybe why the arguments are not, is because people always look at other people's marriages and they draw conclusion from it and bring it into their own home. And with the way this world is, most persons don't put out the battles. They just bring out the flashing things. And then people just they're like, look at those people, they're living fine. You useless man, you see. Don't be surprised that you might see a family today and you see the wife running up and down, doing everything. That is because there's a camera. Once they turn off that camera, that man might be the direct opposite of who he is. So my own is follow Jesus. Let Jesus be your guide. Let him be your template. What works for Mr. A cannot work for Mr. B. That is why we have different letters in the alphabet. They are different. So I cannot say because your husband is submitting to you, and in my own case now, and I say my husband, no. What works for me is different from what works for you. So that is my own. Anybody can submit. The most important thing is let there be peace and let there be love. Thank you.
Let there be peace.
Situation also.
Yes.
The determinant of submission.
Yes.
That's nothing to do with the man and the woman.
Yes.
The situation warrants the man to submit at the time.
Submit.
It warrants the woman to submit. But you know, the men ain't going to be like women say stuff, but situation allows for submission. Especially when we allow the Holy Spirit lead us. Like
yes, definitely.
All right. I believe you all have had a very interesting, enlightening, and a very exciting time. And I believe you have also learned a lot. If it is for you to submit, for it to work for you, submit to. If it is for you to, raise shoulder that will work for you, well, God is on your side. Because like our guests have said, whatever you give a woman, she'll give it to you double. Investment plan. All right, I believe we've all had a wonderful time with today's session, the roundtable session. I want to say a very big thank you to our guest, Mrs. Christiana Oche-Michael, Mr. Adebayo Tunde.
Thank you very much.
Olamide Abbas. In fact, I have had a wonderful time with them in the studio today. As I'm going home. See you next time on the show.